All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Exposure Runs the podcast. I'm your host, Mustafa. Today we have four gentlemen, three players, and pretty much the founder. Can I say the founder?
You say founder.
I can say founder?
Executive
director of SHAI Prep Academy, the premier, and I'm going to go on record in saying the only prep school in the Chicagoland area. Is that correct? Is that accurate?
Actually, in the state of Illinois.
In the state of Illinois.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Actually, co-founder because Scotty.
Yeah, I ain't want to throw your flex out there like that.
Okay, no, we good.
I mean, because I want people to know, like, I did, so between the last time and this time, I did a little bit of research, a little more research on you, Spence. Like, you my guy. Like, so, like, you got, like, first of all, you got almost 30 years in the game of just kind of mentorship and being around, like, young people in terms of developing and helping, whether it's on the court or off the court. 27-year probation officer. That's correct?
29. I retire next year.
Oh, shit. My bad. 29-year probation officer. Former professional player. You played at Ole Miss from 91 to 93. Yep. So a lot of people don't know that you're a former D1 ball player.
They don't know that.
They don't know that?
They don't know it. A lot of people don't know it. They just kind of assume I'm this
old ass school dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That just be putting school, and they don't really know that you can put your sneakers on and bust some ass like one game.
So a lot of them don't know. I actually did a street ball tour with City Slam. I won $5,000 in 60 seconds.
Damn.
Representing the city of Chicago.
5 G's in 60 seconds.
Yeah,
most dope dealers don't do that.
Yeah, I was shooting the cover off the ball. But some guys at that point, that was just. I had a good probably 5-year stretch where I was just flat out shooting the ball, and it paid off. And I ended up doing that ESPN thing for about 3 years with City Slam, and it was a good pay.
5 G's is. That's a nice little for 60 seconds. That's pretty decent. So we have executive director, co-founder of Chicago Prep, Coach Marcus Spence, and then we have 3 of his players. Actually, 4 of them are here, but I like to acknowledge people who are sitting in the room. So I don't want my man sitting over there, feeling like we don't. No, you here. We see you. We see you. All right, but we got Mike Jones down on the end over there.
Mike Jones.
What's up?
Mike Jones. We got Tristian Ford.
What's good?
And then we have newly acquired, transferred in Mr. Jayden Miles.
Yo.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Good.
I appreciate y'all coming here. So right off the top, can each of y'all tell me what you know of the Exposure Runs platform?
I know we can get you a lot of exposure.
Okay. Hence the name. All right, what about you, Mike? What you know about the platform?
Sure, none
Okay.
For real.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, and I like that about you. I like that about you. But we're gonna show you though. We're gonna show you. What about you, Tristian?
Nothing too much about it.
Okay, cool. So the Exposure Runs platform, we started it in 2020. I really love that y'all said those answers though. Like for real, like that. That's pretty dope. I like that. I like transparency. I'm a transparent guy. But we started the platform in 2020. I started the platform for my son Xavier. We were newly moved here from Philadelphia. I felt like he was in the class of 23. I felt like he was among those elite players with Jeremy Fears and Bryce and all of them. And I just wanted to kind of start something to kind of help him, but also give players like him who wasn't getting that much exposure and opportunity. So I started doing these, what I consider like these high level runs. We first started at the school that my wife works at. The very first run, we had JJ there, we had us there, we had Xavier, Bryce, Caden, Day, KJ, Cobb. Who else was there? Shikashi was there. So, and it just kind of took on a life of its own. And then I had partnered with this one guy. I started doing some stuff at a gym out in Western Springs where we had like one of the first real big runs. We invited all of the videographers and the photographers. So I just started getting out like high level video, high level photography, and then COVID hit. Mm-hmm. At the time when I did it, Xavier was a known player, pretty much known for like his athleticism and dunking and all of that. And he wasn't, I can't recall if he was ranked, but if he was like really, really low. And after those first 2 runs, he was ranked within the top 25. Mm-hmm. And I realized that it was not just players like him, but it was other players in the 22. And remember the 22 class, they pretty much lost their whole year. So it was people in the 22 class and the 23 class that were able to get some extra exposure. And then from there, it just kind of took on a life of its own. I was doing these runs, and then I partnered with this other guy where I'm ready to do the Chi-Town Showcase, which I've invited all three of you guys down to at the rooftop gym at 167. And again, from that, we just kind of spawned this podcast. And from the podcast, we started inviting people who we feel, are the movers and shakers of the culture in Chicago basketball. With me not being from here, it was important for me to identify and then include high school players. We just had our first middle school player up here, one of the top middle school players. And then, of course, I've known Spence now for about 2 years, about 2 or 3 years, I think.
I want to say 3.
3.
Yeah. I think X was
sophomore.
His sophomore year, because we were the Illinois Stars at the time.
Yeah. And so it just kind of spawned on life in its own. And so, like, my objective is just really trying to put the spotlight, or as Jayden said, give the exposure to some of the players that's already known. Like, a lot of you guys are making a great name for yourself, particularly like you had a great. I've been seeing a lot of shit about you, Tristian. You too, Mike. Like, just putting yourselves on the map and just kind of like giving yourselves opportunities to be seen by college coaches and the people that know. But then when I'm having these high level runs, just kind of inviting some players who y'all know who they are because y'all have the respect of the competitiveness on the court, but other people may not. So just kind of taking advantage of who know you guys and matching you up versus who don't know those guys, and then creating these high level runs. So that's pretty much what exposure runs is. But I definitely love the fact that y'all said like, nah, we didn't know, and I like that, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of prove myself to y'all. And then at the end, it's like, oh shit, this is actually something that's pretty legit. So I appreciate that from y'all. Tell me, what type of students are you guys down at SHAI Prep? Mike, what type of student are you? Are we gonna go in order this time? Mike, what type of student are you?
A class first dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Okay, that's like the third or fourth person that said they like math. I'm not a math person. I can count money, but I don't fuck with math at all. What about you, Tristian?
My favorite class is English.
What type of student are you?
Sit there, focus on my work type of student.
Okay. What about you, Jayden? What's your favorite subject?
A+ student. And then my favorite subject, probably Spanish this year, just because I want to learn a different language.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely going to be important. What's the major difference between going to a prep school, you think, and going to, say, like a traditional school? Tristian, we'll start with you.
More gym time.
Okay. Okay.
That's really it.
Okay. What about you, Jayden?
More focus on basketball. Yeah. A lot more focus on
A
basketball.
lot more focus on basketball?
Yeah.
And what about you, Mike?
Yeah, I say the same thing. More focusing on the game of basketball.
Y'all doing like a lot of skill work and a lot of development work?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Spence, for you, what would you say for parents or just people on the outside who don't really understand the differences between prep and the quote-unquote traditional model of a school? What would you say would be the biggest difference?
The biggest difference, I think, is one, with SHAI Prep being so new to the state of Illinois, I think it gives parents an option, because being a former basketball player, when I got to school, the first thing I thought about was basketball. I just wanted to get through the classes so I could get the PE. After PE, I wanted practice at 3:30. So we kind of get that out of the way, and it gives the kids the opportunity. We wear them out in the morning, and then they get an opportunity to really focus on their classes in the afternoon. They know they got to sit there and be focused on the work that's ahead of them, and they don't have to worry about basketball because they gotten it out of the way. So I just think from perspective of any parent that's inquisitive about the prep school market, it just gives you an opportunity to really focus on that craft. If you have a kid that you think could be successful playing basketball, or that's all that their focus is, the chips are going to fall where they may. And I say that because we're going to train them, and a kid will get so good, but he'll realize, like, at the end of the day, if you got a kid who's a senior and he's playing against a Mike Jones who's at the time maybe a sophomore, he's going to realize, like, damn, I either got to get better or I got to find something else to do, right? So it kind of lines up like, I thought I was good at basketball, and I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Okay.
And it lines them up with, and it gives the parent, I think, gives a parent an avenue to say, listen, if you want to go to a school that's training and focused on sports, then you have to be as good as a Tristian Ford or Mike Jones or Jaylen. You have to be somewhere parallel to those guys,
right?
Because if you're not parallel and you're behind, and these guys as sophomores are passing you by, it's creating separation, And it gives a real realization to kids like, shit, I'm not as good as I thought I was. But at the same, they can go focus on their academics. They can still get an academic scholarship, and everything lines up because we're part of Illinois State Board of Education.
Do you feel like the prep school model for any sports, whether or not it's basketball, because obviously they have prep schools for like tennis and soccer, and do you think the prep school model for the high level athlete is a better model than a traditional high school?
I think it's the best thing that ever happened in sports because it's a European model. The Europeans been doing this for years. Soccer clubs, basketball, the same thing. Luka, all those guys, they were getting academics, but they're part of sports clubs. And those sports clubs developed them, and they actually had 6 to 8 hours of basketball time, and they go and get their schoolwork. So even with homeschool kids are some of the most highly academic performing kids when they get to college, period. But their grades are astronomical in high school because they get the individual attention, they're able to focus on the academics and get it done. So our model is really a European model where it gives the kids the opportunity. We train them in the morning, work on their bodies. Then we put them there. We train from the head up. And a lot of coaches don't have the time in public schools to train from the shoulders up.
Right. Do you guys feel that coming from a traditional model high school, like a lot of the fluff, if you will, from a traditional model high school to a prep school, do you think it's better, or is it lacking something? Like, I mean, what do y'all think in terms of what I mean is, do you think that coming from a traditional, all three of y'all came from a traditional model high school, correct?
Yeah.
Do you think that the traditional model high school is lacking something that the prep school is offering other than we can all agree, like the attention to details that come to your respective sport, which is basketball, right? Other than that, do you think that the traditional model high school is lacking something?
Yeah, I feel like because at prep school, how he set it up, like our classes and stuff, you can move at your own pace.
Okay.
So it's like, it's better for us. Instead of people like, say I move faster in the class than Mike, and Mike move faster in the class than me. So it's like different.
Okay, and that is actually true. As someone who worked in the school as well, it is set up kind of almost like a smorgasbord where everybody moves at the same pace, and even the person who they know they're behind, they're sometimes afraid to speak up that they don't really understand because they don't want to be looked at by their peers. Do you guys think that you're missing out on traditional school activities such as homecoming, Friday night football, games, and proms? Because that's what you are sacrificing. Do you guys feel that you're missing out on that type of stuff?
Sometimes, but
Sacrifice is worth it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, worth it at the
Sacrifices. You gotta sacrifice something.
And y'all okay with I mean, like, so we're talking about Mike. How old are you, Mike?
17.
How old are you, Trish?
17.
Jada?
Turn 17.
About to turn, right. Your birthday's coming up, right?
Yes,
so happy
sir.
early birthday. The 21st, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So, like, all right, let's kind of break this down in terms that you guys will understand. Right? Not so much understand, but like to kind of make it a little fun, right? So we talking about school activities. We talking about homecoming. We talking about girls. We talking about Friday night football. We talking about girls. We talking about the prom. We absolutely talking about girls and possibly talking about yams. All right, let's really talk about this for real. Let's really talk about this. Like, right.
I ain't gonna lie.
All right, so like y'all kind of essentially missing out on that because y'all are really. So is the sacrifice still worth it though?
Yeah, 'cause it's gonna come.
It's gonna come regardless.
Yeah.
Work now, rest later.
Okay, all right, I like
That
it.
was good.
Okay, all right, cool.
That's kind of some of the thing that we teach them. I teach them that it's only 2 items going on your plate, but you got 3 options. You choose basketball and girls,
School and girls.
basketball and academics, or girls and basketball, and academics gonna suffer. So at the end of the day, if you're sacrificing girls, and there's no slight to the young ladies out there, but if you're focused on what you need to, what you want in life, everything else is gonna fall in place. These are basketball players. They're focused on trying to be the best, absolute best basketball player they can be. And I tell each one of them, I tell all the kids, at the end of the day, you can make money playing basketball.
Absolutely.
He can make money playing basketball. He can make money playing, right now, he can make money playing basketball, right? But
Can't make money with them girls.
man, girls ain't making no money.
They taking it. They taking it.
So if we can get them down the line where they get their academics and everything lined up, you get out of college, you get in college, get out of college, and you got a job playing basketball, that's the best thing in the world. You get a check doing something you love. You know, it's a saying that says, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life.
Never.
So
Never.
if I can just keep them focused, every now and then they'll pop out of front of their house with their shirts off, trying to attract some attention.
Right.
My cameras go off. I have to call them, hey, put your shirts on or don't walk out of my house because this ain't what this going on. Like, this ain't gonna be like this. So they hear me fussing, but I fuss at them out of love because I want them to understand that I've been on this journey. I've been on the journey chasing that basketball. I've been on the journey trying to make money playing basketball, and I feel like I've been there. I have enough resources around me, meaning friends,
True.
people that can talk to him. Scotty will call. He'll have a conversation. We had a conversation the other day just about keeping the house clean, just chores and things like just life lessons, right? So I just feel like it's certain things in college that if I got in a little bit earlier, I would have understood.
I think we all feel the same way, whether you're an athlete or not.
Yeah.
When you guys become adults, and to my very much, not so much surprise, but satisfaction of Zay is like, kind of starting to see that a little bit.
Yeah.
He won't admit it, but things he say and his actions are showing me like, I wasn't a dickhead after all. I knew what I was talking about. But as y'all get older, y'all gonna see that certain things that we're telling y'all or that people tell y'all or kind of, it's more so seed planting, right? We planting them seeds, but when y'all water them and they start to grow, y'all gonna look back on the moments like, oh shit, that's what Coach Spence was talking about. Damn, that's what Derek was talking about.
I saw him last night cooking some eggs. He was looking at me like, Coach crazy as hell, because he heard me fussing. But I fuss at him because I want them to understand, like, bro, just take care of this.
Right.
You could use 5 minutes to take care of this, and it'll make your life easy. Versus you want to let it go, and then you got to go back and spend 45 minutes doing something
or longer. Or longer. What would you guys say, Jayden? What would you say is probably the most difficult thing about prep school that people may not realize?
Probably like the stress it put on you, because like you gotta like achieve, like you already made a big jump from like your regular school to here, so like now you gotta like excel.
Okay, what about you, Tristian? What you think?
Working out, I'd be tired after. I ain't gonna lie, but it's worth it.
Okay, what about you, Mike?
I'll just say being disciplined, just being consistent on what you're doing and trying to be better.
Okay.
And you learn. I feel like you learn more. Like
learning the game more.
Yeah, you learn a lot more.
Yeah.
You gotta take it all in. And
you gotta study the game.
Are you learning more at a overwhelming pace, or just kind of like you didn't know was like? I guess that's kind of the same question. When you say you're learning more, are you saying that you're learning more? I think we all can agree that you're learning more than you would at a traditional high school.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're saying you're learning more in terms of like how to play the game as a whole.
How to play the game, becoming a better young man, and things like that.
Okay. I like that. Same. That's what you think as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Coach, tell us how did SHAI Prep start? Right. Give us the roots of the program.
COVID, like you were talking about with Zay. I know we did that summer with the Stars, and going into the school year, my son Caleb, I just started paying attention. I saw Amari, because he and Amari were in the same class initially, and Amari took off, and I just wanted to see what was going on with the prep school. So during that summer of COVID, with a team with B. Mace, Michael Foster, Trey Pettigrew, Kyle Thomas. A lot of those kids were actually playing with us, and we're trying to make sure that they were good. But one of the guys who was coaching with me, Tim Koff, who's actually from Rockford, was a part owner in Hillcrest Prep. So we just got to talking about prep school, and I was like, I'd come out there and help and just see what's going on. So I got out there and saw the prep school movement. I'm like, man, all these kids out here with prep school, it has to be something to it. But meantime, in Illinois, basketball was shut down. So I went and just helped out at Hillcrest, saw how the prep school thing was going on. And then I went and had a conversation with Phoenix Prep, a guy named John Ortega. But I was going there to meet a kid that I mentored and coached named Devontae Patterson, who was SWAC Player of the Year at Prairie View. And he was working with Phil Beckner, who was Damian Lillard's coach in high school, coach in college, and he was his trainer. So they're at the facility, what it's called in Phoenix, and had a conversation with Phil Beckner. Went in and talked with John Ortega, and he was like, man, I think it would be wonderful if Chicago had a prep school. I was like, you know what? I'm interested, but I'm not quite sure how to do it. I'll tell you everything. I'll help you everything you need to do. boom, he started helping me line stuff up, became a member of the grind session, and at that point became a vision. And then I said, okay, you know what? I want to set up as a school. So we set up as a school and kind of just started moving. And I was like, this will be a great opportunity for kids in Chicago to have a prep school. They ain't got to leave to go to some of these other schools outside the city. And we really get the opportunity to say these kids from Illinois.
As opposed to them going somewhere to say that they're from Illinois.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of kids in Arizona that people don't know that are from Chicago, which is crazy.
It's a lot.
A lot.
The most recent being Young Fears, Jeremiah. He's down at
Arizona Compass.
Compass.
Absolutely. So
and shout out to them.
so many kids that left. And then there are a lot of prep school coaches that are from Chicago that people don't know.
Yes.
So, you know, my thing was I feel like I had more resources to get it done here than some of those guys.
Okay.
So I'm a person that I feel like anything I set out to do, I can get done. So I was hell bent on trying to set up this school. So I had a conversation with some of my buddies, and I decided on the name SHAI Prep because I wanted to represent Chicago and let people know that this was Chicago's prep school.
It's fair to say, like, a lot of the players are from the Chicago area, but you're also, am I allowed to say recruiting players from other areas as
We can
well?
recruit from anywhere in the world.
Okay. I didn't know if that was, you know, taboo to say or not. But so while a good portion, high percentage of your players are from the Chicago area, you do have players from other parts of the country.
Yeah. Our first year, we had a kid from 2 kids from Denmark, a kid from Netherlands.
I remember because y'all brought one of them to Marist when y'all came to
Tucker.
Y'all came to the game with them. I remember.
So we were just getting started then, but my DM, Instagram, my Twitter, my emails, I have so many kids from Nigeria, from Africa, from Canada, from all over. And it's no diss to those kids, but my priority are these kids here in the Midwest, primarily
Fair enough.
Illinois. So we go Chicago, we go Illinois, Midwest. That's my ranking.
That's your okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you focus on the Chicago area first, and then kind of like expand out as opposed to expanding out to expand in.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Mike, when you guys are in the gym, what are some of the things that you guys are working on when y'all in the gym with Coach?
Just the fundamentals of the game and defensive techniques and stuff.
Okay. Tristian, what's some of the things that you find to be very like you enjoy when you're in the gym? I know you said like working out, like sometimes you be tired, but like what's some of your favorite things that you like to do, like working out wise?
Competing.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Okay. Same question to you, Jane. What's some of the things that you like to do?
Probably just getting in the gym, like getting in the gym and just working on my game.
You guys enjoy like the pace academically that you're on individually? Y'all enjoy that more than I call it the smorgasbord of a traditional high school? Y'all enjoy that more?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the?
It's I don't know. It's just a little weird, just because like classrooms or something like it's not as big.
Okay, so it's something that you got to get used to.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and you're new to the family per se. So is it taking a little longer to get used to?
Nah. Like the guys, they straight.
Okay.
they welcome me with open arms for sure. So it's easy for real.
So I want you guys, before I ask y'all to scout your own games, and then I'm gonna ask Coach Spencer to scout your games, I actually want y'all to scout Coach Spencer as a coach. Tristian, you first.
Hard nose. That's really it. He hard nosed. He gonna get on you if you make a mistake.
Okay.
But he gonna pick you up too.
Okay. Go ahead, Mike. You. Scout.
Yeah, I say hard nosed too.
Okay.
And annoying.
You gonna look at him too.
Yeah, I like it. I like Mike, man. I swear. Yeah. What about you, Jay? I know you new to the squad. What scout?
He gritty. Yeah, I don't know, gritty type of coach.
Okay.
He's smart though.
Okay.
Smart.
All right. So now I'm gonna ask y'all to scout your own games, and then I'm gonna have y'all scout each other. So Tristian, scout your own game.
Fast, electric, long. Gonna make a play.
Okay. What about you, Mike? Scout your game.
Say athletic, defender, and the scoring wing.
Okay. Jayden, scout your game.
Athletic, a whole lot of blocks, a lot of dunks. I hit a 3 in there. You feel me? Dribble. Somebody in there, but
Okay. Jayden, I want you to scout Tristian's game.
a score, a straight score. 2 guard. What do they say? What's his name? Oh, De'Aaron Fox, literally.
Okay. All right. Scout Mike.
Black Bull. The score, like, they just really got to get a bucket anytime they want to.
Okay. Tristian, scout Jayden.
Jayden Miles crazy. He a dog. He gon' block some shots. He gonna rebound. He gonna run the floor, and he gonna make plays.
Okay. Scout Mike.
Killer, dog. He gonna do anything you need him to do. He gonna rebound the ball. He gonna push it out. He gonna push the ball. He gonna shoot it. He gonna score it. He can do everything.
Okay. Mike, scout Tristian.
I say fast, 2-way guard, facilitates when he want to, and just a good communicating guard. And I'll say Jayden Miles play like DeMarcus Cousins to me.
Okay. All right. Scout your players, coach.
Start with Tristian. What's funny is I've been calling him De'Aaron Fox for a while, and he just peaked at the right time out in Phoenix. Bobby Hurley, Nick Irvin brought Bobby Hurley to see him play because we had been talking about him.
I just saw that recently.
Derek Ellison was talking about him, so he just had a good weekend in Phoenix, and I mean, with every player, I feel like in order to educate them, you have to give them somebody that they can identify with.
Yes.
Right? I just believe that. So Tristian was the De'Aaron Fox, and I started calling him that. He getting the ball off the backboard, pushing the ball off the floor, and it was just hell speed, right? Shoot. And I was like, there you go, De'Aaron Fox. And De'Aaron Fox was trending at the time because Sacramento was giving Golden State hell.
Oh, yes.
Perfect time, right? Timing is everything. So Tristian was just doing his thing, going up, had a couple of nasty blocks, bringing it down, pushing the ball off the floor, making dimes, and he had a couple where he go in and get the layups, right? So De'Aaron Fox to a T. This kid right here, he more my Montrezl Harrell, right? Highly active. Remember Montrezl when he was at Louisville?
Yes.
Highly active.
And his first couple of years in the league, too.
Yeah, it's a dog. When he was at the Clippers, it's a dog. Gonna rebound, block shots, gonna talk shit to you, gonna get up the floor, and he's the guy that we can put at the head of a press because he's so long and active, and he'll chase the ball, right? What's funny is I was questioning before he got here, what is his leadership, right?
Okay.
Very good leader, right? He'll say stuff, he'll get in his feelings a little bit, but not as much. But
They're questioning your light skin too, by the way. I just want you to peep the game. Go ahead.
But the thing about him is he's brutally honest. He's gonna say how he feels, and I like kids who wear their feelings on their shoulders because I ain't gotta guess. I know what he's feeling, what's going on, right? I talked with his mother. Same thing. Brutally honest, holistically truthful. So I knew what I was working with, and that's easier for me, especially with him playing with Mike and Tristian over the summer. It was easy for him to make that mesh, right?
Okay.
So it was good, and then it helps that he can cook. So he was with them; he can cook for them. So
yeah, they like to eat.
Okay. So that's a nice icebreaker right there.
Right.
Okay. All right.
So Mike has different levels, right? Mike is what I call. One of the coaches called me and asked me about Mike. I said, to be honest with you, he's what I would call a super athlete. He played football early, but the thing about Mike, he's fast, can really get up when he wants to. I've seen him jump over one player to block another player's shot. And football players don't think about the landing; they just about making a play.
Yeah.
So he goes up, he blocks it like a LeBron, comes down with the ball. Now, oh shit, I got to come down. So he had to come down and literally came down on the guy's back and flipped over, and his legs flipped over his head. I was like, oh Lord, his back is broken.
Oh wow.
But he didn't think about the landing. But to say that is to say the type of athlete he is, how he runs the floor. So our focus at that point was like, okay, we have a premature LeBron James type guy, meaning athleticism.
I got you. I know what you meant.
If we can get him to handle the basketball and being comfortable pushing the ball off the floor, making plays for other people, telling Tristian, hey, I got it, you go down, you get in this position and really run the floor, now we have a super athlete that's a floor general or somebody who's a leader on the floor, right? Then from there we work on his shot. His shot has gotten better over the summer. I put a lot of pressure on him, and the pressure is you need to make 5 free throws in a row. Everybody's running. So he get up there. I just knew they were gonna run, and he knocked this 5 down. But it's just the pressure that we consistently have the time to put on to make them better. So Mike is still in the air. I could never compare him completely to LeBron, but we're looking for that segue where it's there. And I'll send him all little clips of people they should pay attention to and watch and just see where your game fits with that. Now it's up to you to say, okay, I'm gonna work on this. Coach said I need to work on this, I need to work on that, I need to work on that. It's up to him working on those things. But I took him this summer to Michael Lancaster, one of the best trainers in the world. DJ Sackman, one of the best trainers in the world. Tyler Reff out of Texas, best trainer in the world. And Jordan Lawley out of California that everybody works with. Clay Thompson works with. Frank Nitti, Zach Levine. Jordan works with everybody. Jordan loves them. So anytime they're in LA, they're invited to the open run with the pros. But the thing was, my goal is to get all these kids acclimated to these trainers that can evaluate them because they can evaluate them to pros that they train already.
Right.
So
and they can cater the workouts to that as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
So Jordan knows what type of athlete Mike is. Jordan knows what kind of player Tristian is. He hadn't had the opportunity to work with Jayden, but Michael Lancaster's 2 hours up the road that we'll go on a Friday and have workouts with him, and he'll get an opportunity to train them. But also, I use their training system for them with the mats, with the cones, because most people don't know Michael Lancaster invented that black and red cone with the little rubber around.
Oh.
And you're supposed to pick the cone up a certain way, and you pick the cone up with your thumb up in order to grab the cone because it drops your shoulder as if you're going past the defender.
Okay.
So it's so much detail, and they can tell you that I will stop practice for the simple fact that I'm not seeing the detail that I want seen.
Tristian shaking his head.
I will. Like, I don't like, a lot of coaches worry about time, and I'm not worried about time. We knew we're going to be until 12.
And that's the beauty of prep school as well.
Absolutely. You're going to go to school, you're going to do your hours at school and get your work done, but if we need to, we'll go back to the gym at 5 or 6 or 7. Whatever time we need to go, we're going to go. So I will stop and get it, and just, I have to give them a break from me because they can't take me every day. Like, I'm on them and ride them. I'm going to piss them off. And I do it on purpose sometimes just to piss them off. They'll be like, this nigga crazy. But, I mean, it's just about my passion and knowing how many friends that I've had that play professional basketball on a high level, from Allen Houston to freaking Lindsey Hunter to Randy Brown to Tim Hardaway. All those guys, I know those guys, right? You can call them. But when I get those guys to come to the gym and have a conversation with them, like when we picked Jayden Miles up, who was in the car with you when
Scottie Pippen, boy, I thought I almost died. I didn't know who. Oh my God.
We go to pick him up. He was like, what's going on? But I did that so he could have a real life conversation with him just about, this ain't about basketball. It's about life journey.
Tristian said something that I thought was really important, that when I worked in schools, this was a big thing with us. So working for working for alternative schools, the model is to, for layman's terms, is kind of to break the students down, but to pick them back up. And Tristian said that. He said, like, you know, you get at them, but you pick them back up. I think that's really important for the development of these young men, is that particularly those, and I don't know their backstories in terms of their parental guidance, their actual parental guidance, so I don't want to kind of touch on that. But what I will say is, even if they do have their fathers in their lives, it's important to have additional father figures that you know is going to like pour into you, be hard on you, but also know when to pick y'all up as well. And the fact that Tristian was able to, he's able to identify that, like, yeah, he get on this, but he pick us up too. I think that's really important for the development of these kids. And those are the type of people I want around my son. When it came to basketball, from y'all call it grammar school, we call it middle school, but from 7th to 8th grade all through high school and even now in college, I want people around Xavier that is, first and foremost, is the message is almost identical from a development and a man standpoint, but also that the coaches themselves know that I'm going to mirror their message without even knowing what that message is. It's going to be the same, which is hard work. He said discipline, and just kind of being open to that developmental environment. That's really important. And I applaud all of y'all. I applaud you for that, but I especially applaud the three of y'all for being receptive to that. That's really important.
Let me say this though, it's always work in progress, and
Sure.
I know there are coaches out there that want to be hard nosed and gritty. That was just what I was taught in college. As a small guard, you had to be that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the other aspect is you have to learn when to pick them up, because you have to know how bad you beat somebody up. Right?
Yes.
You got to know, like, if he need to go to the hospital or if he just needs some gauze.
Right.
So, my thing is, I know sometimes I come down on him hard, but I'll go talk to him. It's like, yo, let me tell you why I said X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
Even with Travella now, who's coaching, what's the message? Like, our goal is teaching. How do we teach them about certain offenses? And he said some things like, man, we got to tell them to take the corner, because they're not understanding what we mean when you say run the floor. I was like, that's a good point. I was like, so let's use that term, take the corner. If the corner's available, take the corner, right? It's just certain things that you have to consistently question yourself as a coach if you got the right message across. Because if it doesn't come across the right way, you're going to confuse them. Mm-hmm. They're not going to receive what you're saying, mm-hmm. and it's going to cause a bunch of controversy,
mm-hmm.
right?
Conflict, yes.
Yeah, conflict. Thank you. So if we're able to get that, because my main thing with all this is teaching. It's just teaching. I'm from a family of educators. My mom has a doctorate in education. I got an aunt, a doctorate in education. Everybody has master degrees, and everything with me, I believe in just teaching. So how can I use terms that you can understand the point we're trying to get across?
Right.
And I think they've been receptive of it. I know Jayden's coming, but he is really coachable. So that makes life easier for us, right? Mm-hmm. So, it's just, I think that's the main thing.
So you guys, SHAI Prep, you guys are planning the grind session. That's the league that you guys are in, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, talk about in that grind session, the type of players, the experience, and then just the overall, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the competitiveness of the other players that y'all playing against in that session.
Oh, it's real competitive. They play fast and shoot. They hungry just like us.
Okay. Who are some of the tougher teams that y'all faced, Tristian?
Team we beat was BFL. They was tough. We played Tennessee Prep. It was good. Who else we played?
You got.
Did y'all play Florida Bingo?
No, we played
Played a lot of people.
OSL, I Xavier Lutheran out of New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really tough team, and they play overtime elite games. Phoenix Prep is overtime elite team this year. Dream City. So actually, November 3rd through the 5th, we actually have the first prep school event in the state of Illinois coming.
Yeah. You was telling me about that. That's coming. I want to know more details about that, because I want to make sure I'm there for that.
So
for sure.
Link Academy is on tap to come. Dream City is on tap to come. Prolific Prep couldn't come because they have an event that they're kicking off.
Link is where JB is at, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And then West Oaks out of Florida. His brother is the head coach of Chicago State, so the executive director of West Oaks. Coach.
Okay.
And that's why Chicago State has so many Florida guys now, because.
Oh, you saw what I said about that shit?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, I was going on that shit a little bit.
Yeah, that's why.
So it is bothering me a little bit. Now let me preface this by saying, like, I'm not from Chicago, blah blah blah. You already know that.
Absolutely.
I actually think it's really fucking corny that a lot of these colleges are not tapping in with the Chicago talent. I'm gonna call them all like Chicago State, DePaul, Illinois. Give me some UIC, coach. Man, with all due respect, the only one that I think that's really tapping into the Chicago talent is D Brown down over at Roosevelt.
So he has 4 kids.
I know that, and honestly, if things had worked out, they would have been over there.
Yeah.
If things had worked out, so they're going to be real good, and I know he's going up. I think next year to D2, I believe, right? So, but I think it's lame as hell. And you brought up Chicago State. Like they got half their fucking rosters from Florida. So you mean that no schools in Florida could have picked it? And look, shout out to these guys. And Chicago State just got them 2 kids from
Florida,
from
West Oaks.
the overtime elite kids.
Oh, the OTE kids.
Yeah, but they are from Florida.
They from Florida kids.
But they are from Florida. So all right. So here's the thing. All right. So because you got to kind of put them in kind of like categories and shit. Like regardless of where they from, the OTE is like you get some kids from OTE is like okay, cool. But the other kids from Florida is like I will put money on. You take 2 kids from Chicago State that's from Florida right now. I'd put money on Mike and Tristian on the 2-on-2 that they'll beat them.
They got one kid who made the Grind Session All-Star team. That's on that team. These 2 made it sophomores. They made the Grind Session All-Star team as sophomores. This kid was a senior who made the All-Star team, right? These guys right here, I'll be Power 5. Hopefully he's Power 5 also, right? I mean, I'm speaking it, but wherever they go to school is their fit.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know, big ups to whatever coach. But the thing really is, to me, and the way I feel, is no reason Northwestern, UIC, Illinois.
Northwestern just signed 2 Chicago kids, so shout out to them. Well, one was from Indianapolis.
Yeah, he was.
KJ, and the other kid is from Mount Carmel.
Yeah, Mount Carmel.
Angelo.
Big kid.
And I'm just going to say like Zay get that motherfucker the business, but you know it is what it is. Go
But
ahead.
my thing is, at least come to our gym.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, you ain't got to recruit. At least show up and show respect, right?
Yeah.
Show we have that relationship. The fact that you don't even bother, and most of them know this prep school exists. No, they all know this prep school exists in Chicago now.
Well, I'm about to say they all know now.
Yeah, but the fact that
It's no excuse.
We got Kent State, we got Bradley, we got Arizona State, we got SIU. These guys show up because they respect the product. Like, and they believe in these kids, and these kids are making noise, right? Milwaukee's coming. Colorado State's coming.
I saw that, which they just lost last night in football to Colorado. I saw that.
You know, I'm a prime.
Yeah, definitely. But to your point though, like you said, y'all got the product, and you know they're seen up and like I can't go on Twitter particularly and Instagrams generally and scroll and not see something. I don't care how far back it was or how recent it was. I'm constantly seeing y'all on my timeline, which is a good thing, by the way. I'm just constantly seeing y'all on my timeline. So you're right, they do know, and they should be in the gym, if for nothing else, just to like do their due diligence. Like, and if it don't work out, if they not for your program, okay, cool, like fuck it. But at least you saw them. It's no excuse, and it's the reason why the schools that's not showing up and picking up these Chicago kids, it's the reason why y'all punk asses ain't winning. Y'all getting these kids who don't have, they not hungry. I have not yet seen players from Chicago that, and this, you know, it's one of the reasons why I had an opportunity to go back in 2018. I wanted to go back home. Like I was just, we talked about it. Like, I remember I called you about this shit. Yeah. I was just over being here. Like I lost my job that I had moved out here for. I moved out here for a job. It didn't work out no more. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this city. Like it kind of did me dirty, and I'm ready to go home. Yeah. And I recognize that. Yes, they not gonna get what he need back home, and this ain't no diss to Philly. Like I'll fight tooth and nail. I wear my city on my sleeve, but the culture of basketball is just different, a little bit different here, and opportunities are a little bit more. Chicago is a real political town, but in Philly, when it comes to basketball, it's real political. Like you gotta know somebody, and there's not a lot of grassroots teams. At least none that I really know about. Right. I know the main ones because one of my homeboys run. He's a part of. The Under Armour team out there. I don't know why I can't remember the name, but the top Under Armour team in Philly. It's not final because they Nike. It's the name escapes me, but I just decided to kind of stay here. But anyway, we're gonna move on. When you guys, do you guys feel that AAU is a necessary part of recruitment?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Most definitely. Why
you think so? Go ahead.
Let me say this right here. I have to give Mike Urban,
shout out to Mike,
his props, along with Mobay, because I really think they did a good job for the most part with that 16U team, right? Mm-hmm. I think Mike, Tristian, I think Jayden, I think that whole team had a real opportunity to do a lot of good things, and I think that it was a lot of things internally that the Urbans did. Byron, Love,
the whole family.
Loved having Lance on the bench. Loved having him on the bench with those guys. And it freed me to feel like I really had to father and watch them the whole time.
Right.
I mean,
Just play dad.
yeah, because you have to make sure that your kids are in the right program and they're doing the right things. The right things being run.
Oh yeah.
So because I'm responsible for them and their parents are trusting them with me, I have to make sure they're in the right position. So, the fire did right by them. And most people I know, I've been a part of fire freaking 7th, 8th grade when I was coaching all the way, through, and it ended up moving to the Stars because of disagreements. But when I came back, we made a pact. We talked about some things, talked about a strategy, and to be honest, that Derek Ellison with the Refuel of Fire, I think they
Shout
did
out
a
to
good
Derek.
job. I think they did a great job.
You know how I feel about Derek, so like that's my guy. Shout out to Derek. Derek does a lot of wonderful things behind the scenes Derek does things behind the scenes for kids who not even with the fire, who he don't even fuck with the parents, or they just kind of like lost, the parents and players are just kind of lost souls.
Yeah, he's about the kids.
Yeah, always through and through. Like I thoroughly respect that guy, and I definitely love him. He's been a huge supporter of the platform. Actually, Derek was one of the first ones who financially backed Exposure Runs when I did one of my first runs. He just here. That was his conversation here, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay, thank you."
I'm gonna hear y'all answer about the necessity of AAU.
Oh yeah, I do want to touch back on that. Mike, talk about why do you think the necessity of AAU is important to the recruitment process?
I don't know. I gotta think about it.
Okay, all right. What about you, Jayden? What you think?
Like AAU is a whole different type of game. Like it's way different than high school basketball. So like AAU, you get to like show you like your skills, and like it's not more. I mean, you got to pass it, but it's more like you, and like college coaches can focus on you, and more of like your game. Because AAU is not like you running plays the whole time or doing stuff like that. You just
Freestyle
basketball.
Okay. Well, what you think, Tristian?
Good exposure, good publicity.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah, I say good exposure, and I guess playing against the top talents. That's it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How do you guys feel about the whole? I want to see how I want to ask this question because y'all may not even have seen the situation that happened. But how do y'all feel about rankings as it relates to y'all individually ranking y'all? What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like rankings are terrible. Most of the people that's doing rankings ain't never played basketball before.
Okay, we're gonna touch on that. Go ahead, Tristian.
I really don't care about for real.
I did. You know, I'm always looking for somebody to charge me to fuck up. You know that. Go ahead, Tristian.
I don't really care about them.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah, I don't really care about rankings either.
Spence, did you see the clip?
Yes.
clip?
But
Oh, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on.
there are a lot of, so I get this, a lot of us has philosophy, but there are a lot of people in basketball that probably shouldn't be in basketball on the level that they are, right?
Regardless of what they do.
Regardless of it,
Okay.
they're in a level
That's
of
fair.
influence,
That's fair.
and they haven't really put the work in.
That is fair.
It's just opinionated, right? So 24/7 Sports, I think, is probably one of those, and that, what is that, 1-3 or whatever it is?
On three.
On three. I think they kind of get it right a little bit, right? I saw rankings where I can accept Alec Austin, being projected as number one to stay. And I say projected, I can see him being there. He's 6'10", lefty, shoots the ball. Some things need to work on, but I can see him being there, right?
Okay.
I think they got it right with Tristian and Mike because they're definitely two of the top three players in the state, hands down.
No argument there. No argument there.
That's primarily no one plays a schedule in the state that we play. Nobody.
No argument there.
Right? We play against perennial pros every year with the grind session. And then we got the EIBC. We got even more guys that we'll play against. Jayden comes from Kentucky where he was number 4, I want to say, in the state. I saw Tristian with 24/7 as a 4-star. Mike was a 3.5, but he went up September 14th to a 4-star.
Okay, congratulations to you
And
both.
Jayden is already listed as a 4-star in Kentucky.
Okay.
Right? So I think with a lot of that, they got it right. We played a team this past weekend. I won't mention the team, but we won by like 52. But we have a certain precedent that we put in place. And we teach them like they're going to be pros. That's the way we train, and that's the headspace I want them to have. Like, yeah, you're playing high school basketball, right? And people want to say, oh, they're old as hell. No, they're not. He's 17. He's 17.
Mike do look 30 though.
He got a family at home, right? He got a whole family.
With 2 kids and shit.
Right now he's 16.
Right.
And he only needs 2 credits to finish high school.
Wow.
So, that's what we're talking about. But based on the rules of high school basketball, you can play high school basketball until your 364th day after turning 19 years old. Like, people don't know that. People didn't know the rules.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
That's wild.
When you turn 20, you're no longer eligible to play high school basketball. Absolutely.
That's
people
wild.
don't know that. But they want to say these kids are high school.
That's
and
wild.
they're young.
Right.
So don't get mad because they're just good athletes and good basketball players. Like, don't do that to kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like my boy at Clemson. I'm a man.
Right.
Defend your players. Like, they're young, but they're just good basketball players. But don't put this whole narrative out there like these old ass kids, because that's what the coaches say when they can't compete.
When they can't compete with them.
Absolutely.
So I was having a conversation with somebody not too long ago, and we'll talk more about this off there because I don't want to whatever them. It's somebody we already mentioned, but the whole ranking thing, right? So like pretty much. We can all agree, like the quote unquote governing ranking body here in Illinois is Prep Hoops, right? Yeah. But so they have, let's say for instance, they have Mike and Tristian, and I'll forgive me, Jayden, I didn't get a chance to look for you, but they have Mike and Tristian. I forgot the number, is in the top 10 on Prep Hoops, but. You talked about the national ranking. They got them like 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. Yeah. How annoying! Now you guys have already said like it don't really bother y'all, but how annoying is it that a local governing body of a ranking system has you guys, let's say 8th and 10, but a national ranking has you guys ranked as 2 and 3? Like, does that annoy y'all?
Well, if they haven't seen me play before, I'll just tell them come watch me play.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
That's really it.
So Jayden touched on something that I believe. Like, I do believe it does annoy me, and it has been a debated, if you will. It's been a topic of conversation for the last month or so. So I had a
Scout.
Yeah, there you go. That's the thing.
I had a scout up here who is not a basketball. He wasn't a basketball. He's not a basketball guy whatsoever. But he has a influence. Right now, the argument can be made. An argument has been made in terms of the debate from their entity, and as far as defending this person is like, well, he's just a part of their process. But the fact remains, I just feel like the people who have never played basketball, I cannot go to a doctor's office and sit and watch them perform surgery, and I have no experience on doctorness with the exception of peroxide and Band-Aids and shit, to be able to rank a doctor. Like, you know what, Mike, you're the best doctor in this motherfucker. Tristian, you're number 2, and Jayden, you're number 3, and Spence, you're not even in the top of any of the doctors. Right. But I have no experience of being a doctor. I just find that to be very asinine to me. Now, when I say experience, I'm talking either player, coach, or like some type of
training philosophy,
something to the game. I don't just mean like you just sit and watch basketball all day because you ain't got no broad. Like, I don't.
That's what you went with.
I got a perfect angle signal.
This is my critique on a lot of that, though, right? And I'm very critical of coaches who don't study the game. I'm very critical of coaches who don't trust other people's philosophies or don't go to Coaches Academy.
I'm so glad you said that shit.
I go, and most people know me, know that I can call USA Basketball and have a conversation with Jay Dempsey, the director of youth sports, Andrea Travisted.
Man, stop fucking flexing, man. Just
No.
I'm teasing you, man.
I know.
I'm teasing you.
But what I'm saying is, I really like, if you're really in the business of youth sports and especially basketball,
yes,
get some expertise.
Yes,
build a resume. So when you go talk with a college coach and they laugh at me because they, coach, how you just know these dudes? I was like, no, some of these guys they don't know me from Adam.
But I know what I'm talking about.
But the fact that they know that I played, the fact that they know that I can evaluate a kid, the fact that they know I'm honest about a kid's talent and what his deficiencies are, they're going to listen to me all day. So that's the thing. And a lot of these coaches think, and even AAU, is too many teams in AAU. It's too many teams, too many kids playing basketball that are not good. And
Too many teams. I don't disagree with you, but I do think that some of it is necessary because while you got the high level kids, some of the kids that are good, now they may not be Mike Jones level,
right,
or Tristian Ford level or Jayden Miles level. There are some good kids out here that need an opportunity to be seen.
100%, I agree with that. But here's the problem. If you got 50 teams that are on a scale of 1 to 10, a 2, and those teams got a player who's really good, he needs to play with better players.
Okay, I agree.
It's no use in building a team around a kid and you're not really vested in basketball. Like, you just go get a good kid. You get a bunch of kids around so you shoot all the balls. Now you're teaching that good kid to be a bad basketball player.
You want to know what's crazy? You know who kind of said that to us? Jay Sean Stevenson. He said that one of the hardest things for him, and he played with Mean Streets, right? And I know it's like, whatever there with that, but he was very honest in saying that it was one of the things that it took some adjusting to, meaning playing with better players. He was used to always being the man, the guy. Now, he was very, very articulate in making sure he didn't put down other people that he knew he was better than.
Absolutely.
But he was like, yeah, I had, like, it was tough. Just with the players he played with in Mean Street. He said it was even tougher when he finally got to the games of playing other players in the EYBL. But I think that is important. That is correct. And it was one, even I always use Xavier as a reference to is like, I always wanted him to play with better players, but I also admittedly always wanted him to be able to have his own lane, if that makes sense, which is, I know we talked about the whole SHAI Prep thing, right? And that's one of the things I really respect about you and Derek is that during that time of, whatever with us, we made the decision, the decision we made to not bring Zay to SHAI Prep only focused on I shouldn't say only focused on only because, but we included in our decision making the peer development, meaning we wanted him to have that prom and that other school opportunity, homecomings and stuff. Did we not talk about that?
Absolutely.
And so like that was our only reason. And I wanted Zay to come, and I had to sit down and have a conversation with my wife at the time, and it was like when she was kind of giving it to me from that perspective, because I'm thinking like, yo, like basketball, we want him apart, we talk about that, and she's like, yeah, we do, but I also want him to have these experiences that you and I had of how we met. Like, I met my wife in high school. Like, we were high school, we went on a prom together. Yeah. So like, just having those are the type of things that you may not, but you could potentially miss out on. So that was our decision on that.
And just piggybacking on that, the one thing I respect about these guys, and even Jay Miles has had his life in Kentucky, right? These guys have had their instances in Rockford. But one of the things that's important to me is holidays. Go home. Don't call me. Spend time with your mom, your sister. Tristan didn't want to go to his sister's graduation in California. Bro, you got to go to your sister's graduation. That's important. That's family, right? Like, they're bought in 100%. They want basketball. But I have to be the reason and body. And it's like, bro, listen, you need some family time. Matter of fact, I need some family time. Get the hell away from me.
Right.
Go. Right. So, yeah.
Do you guys get nervous before games? And if so, what do you do to kind of like help with that?
Used to, not no more.
Not no more? What did you do to kind of like help get over that?
I just listen to music
Which is my next segue question. So good job, Tristian. All right. All right. Do you get nervous before?
I say a little.
Okay.
I pray before the games.
Respect. I like that. That's a great answer. What about you, Jay?
No, I like all of it. I don't know. If I am, though, I'll go in the game and bump somebody,
It just get like this.
Just like on a little shirt or something.
Okay. You talked about music. What's on your playlist? What you listen to calm yourself, get yourself ready for games?
Polo G, King Von, all the Chicago rappers, really.
Okay. And give me somebody that's on your playlist that most people would not even think, like, you listen to that?
Brent Fayez.
Okay. What about you? Who's on your playlist, Mike?
Rent that dude.
Shoot, a lot of people. I say T-Ski, ESTG, Lil Durk, a lot of people.
Who's on your playlist that people be like, damn, you listen to that?
It's an instrumental from TikTok. It's Jacob and I think it's Jacob and Stone. I think that's what it's called.
Okay. What about you, Jay? Who's on your playlist? Who helps you get going?
A whole lot of everything. I like everything. Raw Wave. Probably gonna say Polo G.
Okay.
Lil Baby.
Okay.
I got my little artists.
And who's on your playlist that people be like, you listen to that?
Probably like SZA. Just because I like all type of music.
Got you. Yeah. Okay, what about you? Who's on your playlist? Swin?
Oh my God! Oh,
You got the Temptations and shit.
hey.
After 6.
My wife be like, "Are you still 25?"
Right. Oh man.
I what's funny is I'm a juvenile probation officer, and I really like King Von.
Okay.
As much garbage as he did, because I know he did.
Right.
But, I mean, I like Chicago artists, Polo G, Linkin Park guy. But when it comes down to the oldies and dusties, I'm an Isley Brothers guy.
Okay.
You know what you know.
Who's on your playlist that they would clown you about, but they would be like, okay, coach.
You know what? I don't know. Anything old school, they gonna
clown on anything? Okay.
I like old school music.
It doesn't matter. So anything old school, they might hear me. I'm in fraternity, so they might see me twirling my cane to the Isley Brothers.
Oh shit! Okay. All right. Okay. I'm a rock and roll fan, like Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Like Aerosmith. One of Aerosmith's songs was my wedding song.
Really?
Yeah, from the Armageddon movie. I don't want to miss a thing. That was my wedding
Oh,
song.
I like that song.
Yeah,
I like that song.
I love rock and roll music.
Yeah.
It's a couple black country music artists that I'm just kind of like tapping into. That's pretty decent. I got to listen to them a little bit more. But
Yeah,
I love music. My family is musicians, so my brother and sister-in-law, Kindred is my family. So
so yeah.
music is all around my.
inclined.
Yeah, definitely. So, what schools have been recruiting you guys and have officially offered you, Mike?
Shoot, Arizona State,
Okay.
NIU,
Okay.
EIU,
Okay.
and I think that's it.
What about
Bryant.
Oh yeah, Brian.
Brian. Okay, yeah.
Eastern Illinois, NIU, Bryant, Arizona State, Texas A&M.
Okay. What about you, Texas A&M? That's a okay. Go ahead.
See,
Go ahead, Jay.
Western Illinois, SEMO, Ohio, WKU, yeah, Bryant.
Okay. Tristian, what has been the best and the not so best parts of recruiting?
The best, just seeing them have interest in me,
Okay.
and not the best, the colleges I want to have interest in me.
That haven't said that yet. You want to kind of like name one or two that you like hoping come down the pipeline?
Ohio State.
Okay.
That's really it.
All right, cool. What about you, Jay? What's the best?
Oh yeah, Marquette.
Marquette?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Marquette. It's a guy that played at Marquette. He's one of the assistant coaches over at Hillcrest.
really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shaka calls me on the phone with him on his treadmill.
Oh yeah, shout out to Shaq. You actually kind of favor him a little bit. He had a little bit younger version of you. If you shaved your head off and was a tad bit more light skinned, just a shade. What about you, Jay? What's the best, not so best part about recruiting?
The best part probably definitely like just talking to him.
Okay.
Like, getting like the feel.
And the feedback and all
The
that.
worst part, like I don't know, seeing everybody get like all the big offers, knowing that you like not per se like better than them.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. What about you, Mike? What's the best and the not so best part?
I'll say the best is them calling your phone, being interested of you coming to their school and stuff, and wanting to get to know you and your family. And I say the worst is everybody else getting offers that I want.
That you want?
Yeah, and I'm not seeing me putting in the work.
Right. And I know Tristian already did. Do you either Jay or Mike? Do you guys have one, maybe two schools that you like, hoping that does offer you that's on your top list?
Grambling, Oregon.
Grambling, the HBCU.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely wants to do it.
You know how I feel about that. Yeah, that's love. That's love. What about you, Mike?
I'll say Marquette and Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. That's where
Armand Gates.
Right. No, I was more so talking about the coach that was over at Loyola. He's over there now, Oklahoma. Porter.
Oh yeah.
Porter's the coach over there. He shout out to Coach. Coach. How you pronounce his last name? Moser. Porter Moser. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to him. A great guy. Like Zay played with his son on the Wolves,
Okay.
right? And after one session with the Wolves, right before the break from July going into the high school, whatever, he was there. The most impressive thing I ever seen, he was there just as dad. Like he was coming off a successful the Loyola, how you pronounce Loyola? He was coming off the impressive run, but he was in the gym just as dad, watching his son, right? His son played with Xavier on the Wolves, and it was so decent. And what was crazy was watching all the parents kind of dicky him a little bit because they saw him there, and it was like, you see my son, you see my son, you see my son, you see my, and he was just there on some real chill, chill shit, right? And what I loved about him was, and they had a really good showing this one day.
Yeah.
And we were getting ready to leave, and I asked, I said, Coach Williams, can I ask you a question? He said, absolutely. I said, from the time that they come back, because they about to go into the high school part of the season, is there something as dad I can kind of, that you saw from Xavier that I can kind of like tell him that he needs to work on? And he was kind of shocked by my question, and he was like, absolutely. He said, I'd like to see him with the ball more in his hands. I'd like to see him get a little bit stronger, and I'd like to see him work on his floater a little bit. I said, cool, I appreciate that.
That was the one thing actually I really want to see, what kind of ball handler could he become.
Yeah, me too.
That was the thing.
I used to get on him, and I told Xavier, and Xavier will tell you, I feel and felt that Xavier's weakest parts of his game, by far, the weakest parts of his game, it was his mentality to want to play defense, because he was one of the better defenders as he was coming up.
Yeah.
And he just kind of fell off when he played with some other players that, whatever. But his ball handling in the open court, the boy was unstoppable. But in half court settings, when it came down to actually having to, like with you as a point guard, right, just as a guard, just that decision making quickly with the ball, you could see Xavier like. It was almost like you could see inside his brain. Like he's like, I hate to use the word struggling, but like he would struggle with that decision making process of like whether to cross or put the ball behind his back or like just attack.
Yeah.
It was just like just decide, do something.
Thinking about what he should do versus what was the right.
What was the right thing to do? Yeah. And it will be times I'm like, you know what? It got to a point where it was like, I don't really care what you do, just decide. Why you're deciding is when you turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Like so, you're still in the midst of trying to dance, and that ain't your game. Like you're not a ball handling wizard. Like they couldn't stop you getting downhill.
One of the things that helped him, honestly, in the point guard perspective, because everything, I remember one time he thought I was crazy as hell. I said, hey, we pick it up 94. And he picking up, and he was giving the guy probably 5 feet of space. I was like, we're guarding. And he was like, okay, I'm playing defense. I was like, what the hell is that? I said, bro, you're not guarding nobody. Like, guarding is touching. He touched the ball, you touch him, right? But it was just the whole thing of getting him to understand and take him through those reps. But I'm going to tell you, the shot clock makes a hell of a difference.
Oh, yeah.
We're in the 24-second shot clock this year. The grind stage plays 24 seconds.
That's huge for y'all.
We went from 30 to 24.
That's huge.
So that shot clock forces you to think fast, and you already got to make your reads early.
That's good.
So we're preparing them already for the league.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. Tell me, guys, who was the toughest person that you guys had to guard so far? Mike?
In the EYBL?
Period. EYBL, grind session, name one player who was really tough for you to guard.
I want to say nobody for real.
Okay. What about you, Tristian?
Nigel James, Expressions Elite.
Okay. Jay?
Probably James Brown.
JB?
Yeah.
So he played with Zay with the Blaze. Shout out to Pat and Sakita when all of them was on the Blaze. JB, Xavier, Bryce, Makai, Caden, tall fellow that he was at Bolingbrook, Donovan Younger. So like they all came up, and JB has like, man, he's a great. Shout out to Miss Marcia and Courtney. They did a good job with JB. He's a good kid, man.
I think Link was a good move for him.
Yeah,
and he's making some good. He's making some good waves there too.
Who was the toughest player that guarded you, Mike?
Ooh. Gotta think about that.
Like, what you mean, like
you couldn't get nothing off on them?
Nobody. I know what you're talking about. We played Bishop Wash.
Okay.
That was my first frustrated game, but after that, nobody.
You graduated past that, but dude was The coach had him. Hey, I can't remember, the kid was a freshman. He probably as big as Tristan. Tristan called himself, gonna hit him, go to the side. Oh no, bop, he blocked it. Tristan came to the sideline, head down, breathing hard, mad as hell. I'm looking at Chap Travell. I was like, Tristan mad as hell. I was like, this is exactly what he needed. Now Mike, it's this kid called Darius Sutton. I don't know if y'all know who he is.
I've heard the name before. He at OTE now, right?
Yeah. Darius Sutton is a bad boy.
He gave you problems?
He put up numbers.
Against JG?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Jay?
Probably big folks from TTO, big white boy.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name?
I forgot.
Yes.
I don't know his
He was a
name.
big
No.
He about 7 feet,
Hey,
wasn't he?
huge.
Mitchell.
Oh,
'Cause he said he-
Xavier.
Yeah.
Xavier Mitchell.
Mike said you can never get off on him.
Man, that was a big
I can't.
Like that.
I love when y'all give roses to y'all peers. I think that's so dope that y'all kind of tap in, because what it does is really like it prepares you for the next time you see them. Like, oh, I'm gonna get his ass back.
Fact.
Yeah.
I will get his ass back.
I can score him.
That's name.
That's gonna do.
Who was barbecue chicken? Who y'all get buckets to?
Everybody.
Nah, real talk. I mean, there's some people in them rankings that's higher than us that gave buckets, like instant buckets.
Talk your shit, Jay.
It be like that though.
Talk your shit.
No,
He said they hired them, but I gave y'all buckets.
I don't know. They gotta look at the games.
Okay.
That was a good thing. They had to start getting them to understand. Like, they put their pants on the same way you put your pants on. Like, they're up here, but those people that probably ranked them hadn't seen y'all. Just make them remember your name.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key.
Going into. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I skipped the question. Barbecue chicken. Oh, I asked that one already. Going into the upcoming school year. When does y'all season start?
Shit. In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
We fly to Phoenix because we have a play-in. We play Accelerated Prep where Bayfall and Darius Sutton played
Yes.
last year.
Okay.
So that's we play Brandon Mason's team, Albuquerque Prep.
Okay.
Brandon Mason went to Morgan Park.
Yes.
So he's the executive director there. That's our first game. And then we play Accelerated Prep, and then we play Balboa, who's out of California but relocated to Florida. And they are a fully sponsored team by, I think they're either Under Armour or Puma.
Okay.
But
And Puma definitely trying to get in the game. Puma and New Balance.
Yeah, they are.
Going into the new season starts in 2 weeks. J Miles, what's your upcoming like season goals?
They said something about them not making like the grind session playoffs. I definitely want to do that. And then like my personal goal is probably like want to average like 15 and 12, just help the team win.
Okay. What about you, Trish?
Make the players in the grind session, the EIBC, personal. I'm gonna say 20 and 10.
20 and 10. Okay, Mike.
I'll say, make the playoffs, make the All-Star game again. And personal goal, I say 25, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Like these goals. I hope you take a mental note of these goals.
Listen, I gave all of them. I said we're going to have 3 20-point scores this year. And we have to, because our goal is to score 85 points a game, at least. We got 24-second shot clock, more possessions, faster game.
Yes.
And, we got to stop. So,
starting with you, Tristian, name your all-time NBA 5 players and 1 6-man. Positionless basketball too, like, so it don't have to be a point guard, shooting guard. It can be whoever you want.
My point guard, LeBron.
Okay.
My 2, I'ma go Kobe.
Okay.
My 3, I'ma go Tracy McGrady.
Ooh.
My 4, Kevin Durant.
Okay.
5, let's see, I'm gonna go Kareem
And who your 6-man?
off the bench. I'm just go Lou Will.
Okay.
No, Al Iverson.
Okay. Yeah. Philly in the house. Okay. Go ahead, J Miles. Name your 5 starters and 1 6-man.
I gotta go KD for sure.
Okay.
Gotta get Shaq.
Okay.
I won't go Scotty just cause
Just cause.
Part.
All right.
and he got great defense.
Shout out.
And I gotta go. Gotta get Steph.
Okay.
Dang. Ooh, it's tough. Gotta get LeBron.
All right. That's 5. Who your 6-man?
6 man. Luka, for sure.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Shoot, Larry Bird,
Oh shit. Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal,
Okay. 2,
MJ,
3,
Kobe.
4.
What's the dude? No, I need a center. I said Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
I need a power forward.
You say Shaq? I don't know if he said
I don't know if he
Shaq.
said Shaq.
No, I don't think you said Shaq.
Shaq.
Okay, that's fine. Who your bench?
What's the dude with the Twitch? Are you twitching?
Oh, Mahmoud.
Mahmoud?
Yeah, him.
So that's one of my brother's best friends.
That's your boy.
Yeah, that's my boy. I'm trying to get him on the show. Did you see the documentary?
Nah, I want to watch it though.
It's really really good. It's really really good. As a matter of fact, Showtime took it off.
I heard.
Showtime took it off. Yeah,
they
Show,
took it off.
yeah, they
Because
took
he
it
be
off.
talking about him in practice.
Yeah, he was a monster, bro. Absolute monster.
Mississippi brother.
Yeah, absolutely monster. As a matter of fact, Tristian, that wouldn't be somebody bad for you to kind of like start watching some clips of. He was just, man, y'all love Steph. Y'all would have loved Mahmoud. Go ahead, Coach. We're going to give you an opportunity to name your old players, Elgin Baylor and George Gerwin.
Even though I love both those players.
Right.
They're not my top 5.
But go ahead.
I got to go with MJ and Pip.
All right, that's 1 and 2.
I got to go Kobe.
3.
Of course, I'm going with Shaq.
4.
And my fifth has to be I gotta go. You know what? I gotta go Magic because Magic played 5 positions.
Okay, and who's your 6th man coming off the bench?
My 6th man, I gotta go with. I gotta go with Steph.
Steph.
I
Okay.
gotta go with Steph.
All right, mine's is AI, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, Hakeem, and my 6th man is Jamal Crawford.
I love JC.
Yeah.
It's not enough KD over here. I don't know.
I feel like I left.
You're not feeling it?
Nah.
You're not feeling it?
Nah.
Last 2 things.
By LeBron.
In Islam, we believe that our children pick us as parents. Hearing that, what does it mean knowing that you picked your parents for, just you picked your mother and father to help you and develop you and like talk about what family means to you, all of y'all. We'll start with you, Mike.
It means a lot. The reason I'm playing basketball and make the sacrifices I made was for my family, so I can put them in a better position.
Okay. What about you, Tristian?
Same thing what Mike said. And, shout out my mom. The reason I play basketball is for her. She basically taught me hard work and dedication because she worked hard for me.
Okay. Go ahead, Jay.
Definitely the same thing they were saying. Like, I just really play basketball for them. And like, so we ain't got never go through hard times.
Okay, Coach, you as well. Like I know, I've been very appreciative of our relationship and our friendship, and so like I know how important family is to you, with your children and everything. So just kind of talk a little bit about your family as well.
Well, I tell people I've opened this prep school to recruit extended family. So, these guys are with me every day. Of course, my son Caleb is there, love him to death.
Mm-hmm.
Just training him as a young man. I appreciate the opportunity to be his father. And piggybacking on something that Shaka Smart says, we get to, not that we have to, right? So we get the opportunity to be parents. I get the opportunity to be Caleb's parent, right? I get the opportunity to coach these guys. I get that opportunity. So it's a blessing. I take it. I maximize as much as I can. I share my passion with them. And sometimes my passion involves yelling or discipline. But, they've been around me long enough where they get it.
Right, they understand.
So
it's coming from a place of love.
So it's nothing that just stays there. It's not that I get the opportunity to coach them.
Right. Okay. Lastly, start with you, Tristian. I want you to send yourself a future message. Talking in third person, so it'll be Tristian, and then give yourself a message.
Stay humble and kill everybody you're in front of, and just keep being a good person.
Okay, Mike.
Just continue to be patient, work on yourself, and continue to stay focused and hungry on the game. And you'll get whatever you want in the future. Work now, rest later.
Okay. Jay?
Jayden, just keep going. Don't never stop working. And you can do anything.
Okay. Coach?
Marcus Spencer, continue to mentor, continue to be a rock and a pillar in the community, helping young brothers and those who are younger and older, just continue to do good, and continue to receive the blessings that's provided to you, and continue to be a blessing to others.
I appreciate you guys coming. I'm looking forward to all three of y'all coming out to the Chi-Town Showcase. I'll show you guys the player list when we get off camera. I think particularly y'all two are going to be very impressed with the competition that's going to be there. One in particular, I'm really hype about coming because he's from my home city, the number one player from Philadelphia, so he'll be here. But I just want to take a quick moment to really just thank all three of y'all, particularly for coming on the show. It was very nice to meet you guys. I'm always impressed when I talk to these young people because they really they need more opportunity. Whether it's me and Bo with exposure runs, or whether it's like just opportunity for them to be heard. Like I'm really big on like listening and hearing them and giving them an opportunity to be seen and heard. For you, Marcus, I can say with full autonomy that I really just appreciate you, bro. Like there have been times you and I have had conversations that didn't have shit to do with basketball, but it always kind of turned the corner to our family and into our children, and you always seem to kind of like know what I need to hear as it relates to fathering and just the journey I was taking with Xavier with basketball. And so I really appreciate that. Like it's not lost on me, like, you know, kind of like being an outsider and the people that's from here that are stamped, who stamped me. If that makes sense, yeah. Right? So the lesson or the feedback that I can give you guys is that as y'all continue to grow and develop, like you want to put people around you that will not just support you, but that will also hold you accountable. Like you don't want people that's not going to say like, nah, Mike, don't, you know, I'm sorry, you want people around you like that. You don't want nobody that's going to, you know, kind of advocate the dumb shit. Like y'all are brands now. Like Mike Jones, Tristian Ford, Jayden Miles, like your names mean more now than you probably think, and will continue to grow in that manner. And keep Jeremiah, no, I'm sorry, was it Jeremiah who said keep the main thing the main thing? That was Jeremiah, right? Yeah. Jeremiah Williams was on the show, former Temple, Iowa State. He's now at Rutgers. And I asked him what would a message he would give to the new guys that's going in. You know, you got Day down at Kansas State. Yes. You got Jeremy at Michigan State. You got Ahmad over at Niagara. You got Caden over at Stony Brook. Mm-hmm. You got Makai at Miami of Ohio. All those guys that's in Xavier. I said, what would be a message to them guys? Just keep the main thing the main thing. Like you specifically talked about basketball, like just the whole whatever basketball. Keep the focus. The other shit is going to be there. You said that. Like just keep the main thing the main thing. I'm really proud of you guys. Like if no one has told you that, they may show you that, but if no one actually told you that, I'm really proud of you guys. Like y'all are opening your minds to something different and allowing somebody like Marcus and the people that he has around him to help y'all. So like just keep up the good work, and I'm here for whatever y'all need as an outsider, just to kind of like continue to pour into y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you too.
Right.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next episode of Exposure Runs the podcast.